Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel. And it is the big match preview. It is the Merseyside Derby preview on Monday evening. Yes, a Monday night game for a Merseyside Derby. Yeah, cheers, Premier League. Cheers for that. But I'm delighted to say that I've been joined by two fabulous guests. One of my moderators and his first time on the channel is Mr. James Dunlop. How are you, sir?
Not too bad, Doug. Thanks for having me on.
Absolute pleasure. And from across Greece, it is lovely to have Mr. Tom May back on the channel. How are you, mate?
Yeah, all good, mate. Cheers for having me on, lad.
It's a pleasure. It is an absolute pleasure. And yes, guys, we are here for the Merseyside Derby preview, so I can understand this will be very, very interesting, to say the very, very least. Alan says, can't believe I'm saying it, but I'll be happy with a draw at this stage, but you'll never walk alone. Absolutely. I'm feeling that way as well, and we will get into it as well. And Dawood Nassim, hello. I hope you are good. As well. So, it is the Merseyside Derby, and this is probably one of those derbies where both sides probably need the win. I mean, we'll obviously speak about Everton first, because James, morale-boosting win against Arsenal, wasn't it?
Massive, absolutely massive in terms of confidence and obviously getting everyone on side. It was a massive victory, and it was well deserved as well. Just in the manner we played, it was just a positive to see. So, but I don't want to get carried away at anything. It's just one game, but there's some positives to take.
Yeah, 100%. And Tom, I mean, it was probably your best performance of the season, that game.
Yeah, that was. Like everything that James has said before, like it wasn't the victory that we didn't deserve, because we did outplay Arsenal, and we showed some good signs of what. All right, Dyche only had 4 days of training with them, but it just showed what is to come, and how we want to play and what style is going to be expected from the players. And altogether, it was a cracking performance. All right, like you said, it's only one game, but it does show that there's good signs to come from us.
Yeah, 100% as well. We'll come into the chat again. Hello, Uncle Rods. Hope you are good. Spencer says, me too, Alan. And David says, get James Redmond on. Well, maybe one day. Maybe one day. But as I did say, obviously that it was a goal made in Burnley, James. Tarkowski header from a Dwight McNeil corner. But we have to say this as well. Dwight McNeil's not been the best signing for Everton, has he?
He's not fully worked out at the minute. My only problem with Dwight McNeil is he's the most one-footed player I've ever seen in my life. He can only use his left foot. He hasn't got a right foot at all. Well, he has. He just doesn't use it. It's just frustrating. I mean, to his credit, he put shift in Saturday, but it's just so frustrating now and then.
It does get the feeling of that as well. But I mean, we look at that game, and you were fabulous. I thought Arsenal were very, very poor, and I think you obviously you caught them on a very, very good day. But James, you've been saying all season you feel that Everton could be down. Do you still feel that way?
I'm still not convinced at the minute, especially with what's happening behind the scenes and all that. But I'm just hoping with a couple of not just results but performances can boost the morale, not just the players, but boost morale at the fans as well, because it's just been horrible being an Evertonian not just this season, the last 18 months has been horrible.
Yeah, Tom, are you feeling the same way, or do you think you can get out of it?
All right, look, after the derby, I think there's a couple of games that we could at least scrape 3 points from. But looking at all the other teams that are below us as well, and even in that points margin with us, it could go either way, because all the teams that are below us are still performing and still getting points as well. So in a way, we just need someone to slip up. I'm not saying that I want the other team to slip up, because I want our team to perform and get them points it deserved. But, you know, I believe that we could escape it again by maybe a point or two. But I do believe that we could fight this relegation battle.
Yeah, as well. And, you know, you're going to... Is it safe to say, James, you're going to Anfield probably as favourites in this game, considering how bad Liverpool have been?
It's tough to call. I mean, most people in the media would have you down as a Liverpool win, but I don't know. This is going to be one of the most interesting derbies, especially at Anfield in recent times, because both sides have massively underachieved this season.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, Tom, how are you feeling going into this one?
That's another. In a way, I'm slightly more confident than now that we've got Arsenal out the way. All right, it's one game, and I think having the fans being at home did help us, having the fans against us. But going to Anfield is never easy. Never has been easy for Everton. But I think our midfield this time, if Dyche is playing with the same team that we played Arsenal with, I think our midfield will probably overrun yours with the legs.
Yeah, that is a main concern, but it shall be a very, very intriguing game. Hello, John. Big up, Douglas, just cheating bastard. Big up, Tom, mate. Hope you are well. Big up, lads. I have a feeling our first win in the league this year is coming this derby. We have one win already against Wolves in the FA Cup. I know what you mean, and I do know what you mean, Indian Scouser. As well. Klopp in, mate. Absolutely Klopp in. I'm never going to be Klopp out. That man has done wonders for Liverpool Football Club. I'm never going to be Klopp out. Never going to be Klopp out. I think if some people have short memories, I think, for obviously what's happened this season as well. To be fair, I did say at the start of the season, I did say that I think there could be a bit of a drop-off. I didn't think it would be this bad. But we have to be honest with ourselves, and I think Klopp has probably said it himself. He has made mistakes, and you know the midfield is the big sort of talking point. But yeah, for me, I have a feeling that we will hopefully rebuild next season. Hopefully, that is the main thing. Anyway, big up Indian Scouser. Hello, Ravi. Hope you're good, mates. Big up Ravi. Hey, Ravi. Big up, says Indian Scouser. Now, we do have to obviously speak about what has been a little bit toxic in the fan base. Now, I think you'll be obviously aware of this. What have you both made? James, I'll come to you first. What have you made of the board sort of being forced to sort of stay away from Goodison Park? And do you think they'll ever be back at Goodison?
I'll be amazed if they come back to Goodison because of on social media. I mean, this is different, social media and all that. But our chairman's been getting like death threats, not by many Evertonians, but a few have come a bit out of order with death threats, and then you've got these all these horrible. And so, I completely understand the protest, and I'm one of them. I've been calling out the sport since 2019. So it's just not good at the minute with them, and I just can't see Everton moving forward while they're still in charge. That's the only way I can say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very, very interesting, Tom. It's like how toxic it's actually got.
Yeah, it has got really toxic now, and I think it's, to be fair, I think it was coming. A number of years you could see it coming. They need the dancers coming, and obviously fans we're very fickle sometimes because we always turn to the manager straight away. I think this time round we've kind of like sussed what's happening now. You know, not many players coming in, and you know, signing these ones. You know, in transfers, we get our pants pulled down every time we sign someone. There's no proper negotiations. There's no like, well, actually, we'll do a 5 million cheaper deal or anything like that. And you're meant to have a board that's support the club and understand the club. And we've got a legend in there, and he's just it's a bit shit-housey really, because now that they've got these like this job, it's you'd expect them to be at the games. You should be the front line of the bullets get fired at you. To make a point to say, listen, we're trying our best here, but you're not. You've not turned up to the games. You think you're getting death threats. These are only allegations, by the way. There's no police reports as well that have came out of this, like these stories as well.
Yeah.
So it's just Mercedes has put his money where he has put it. He's not been shy in that. But with his board picking, I think he should be a bit more smarter and just get rid of them straight away. But like James said, until we sort that out, I can't see us going forward either.
Yeah, I mean, from what obviously happened, obviously the Brighton result was very, very disappointing, and then we obviously get the reports obviously after the Southampton game, and you obviously see the scenes afterwards. Like Yerry Mina, I think, had to get out of his car and speak to Everton fans, and then you see fans going after Anthony Gordon. First of all, James, are you pleased with the money you got for Anthony Gordon, and are you surprised that you managed to get 45 million from Newcastle?
Well, I'm happy we got the money for him, but they should have sold him in the summer when Chelsea came in for 60 million, personally. So, yeah, we got the money for him, but obviously, as we saw on deadline day, we didn't bring anyone in because obviously there have been other reports saying the finances weren't there to get players in. But Gordon, for me, after what happened to Southampton, his head turned, yeah. and that was it for him at Everton. So, yeah, the 40 million. But when Newcastle came in, I was instantly like, yeah, I'd accept that straight away.
Yeah, I mean, Tom, Anthony Gordon. I mean, he hasn't really done much since his sort of 60 million bid, sort of came in. Are you glad to see him go?
Personally, for me, yeah. But in a way, I wish he didn't have that. I think in the summer when that price, I think his head went before the Southampton game. I think as soon as Chelsea came sniffing around, I think his head went then. Personally, maybe he thought of a stay till maybe January, put a little decent performances like here, there, and now. Maybe the price might go up, and I probably might get Everton a bit of money to do this and that. All right. To be fair, if you look at it, 45 million technically is still a steal for us. I don't rate Gordon. I think he's average. He's a prospect. He's got a lot to work on, and like his crossing and finishing abilities. Especially in a high standard. Might maybe get that in Newcastle, but I think with us he probably would have learned a bit more. But it's I don't know. It's just. I think that's another one. I think he's shit out of it as well because he could have stayed and be a main man and main focal point and be like actually this player is actually something decent. He's actually kept his team up and fight for the share. But instead he just turned the other way and said, "Nah, I'm out."
Yeah, I mean, James, were you surprised with how sort of again? I obviously I used the word sort of toxic, how sort of toxic it got between him and Everton, considering he's like a boyhood sort of Everton fan. He's been there since he was 10 years old.
I was sad at how it ended, but his performances haven't been great. But it's not just him; the entire team hasn't been performing well, and he's been part of it. And I don't know what I mean, people talk about his attitude. I can't work. I don't know what his attitude's like. We like to think we know what goes on behind the scenes, but we don't. But it's one. It's one of them. I mean, Gordon, he's got Everton in his heart, obviously, because he's a local. I mean, it's his boyhood club, but But the fact is, like Tom said, his head's turned by that Chelsea move, and then obviously what happened after Southampton. It's just, and I mean, I don't agree with what the fact some of them fans did, chasing down him down in the car outside the ground. I don't agree with that, but it's a bit of both. I can understand from my side of things, but I can understand the fans' frustrations.
Yeah, definitely. It was a very, very strange one. Let's just let's say the very, very least. We get New Year's wise. Yeah, that's a big thing as well, Dawood. Carvalho, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why he's not playing. Maybe Klopp hasn't sort of found his best position yet. And I'm thinking now that with a chunk of the season sort of left, you might see Carvalho against Everton. You might see him. But maybe not. But it's a very interesting question. Will we get new owners? Time will tell. Time will tell. Is a very, very good thing. Oh, here we go. Question from Ravi. Where do you think the game will be won and lost for both teams? Oh, right. Well, I'll say first, Ravi. Definitely our defensive midfield. Tom?
I think we'll overrun you in midfield. I think we're definitely going to overrun you in midfield. I think without attacking, it's probably going to be the lack of maybe chances, but if we can keep the set pieces going well, then maybe we've got a chance.
Yeah, James?
Same. I think the midfield as well, especially with the likes of Onana and the Coady carries on the way he's carried on from that Arsenal performance. And I think the midfield could overrun you.
Yeah, and I'm going to say set pieces as well, because we know what Sean Dyche teams like to do against Liverpool. Likes to cram around Alisson. And I actually remember a Liverpool-Burnley game. I think it was 4-2 where we won. Ashley Westwood scored directly from a corner kick, and I think he had 4 players on Alisson basically to stop him. So that might be a bit of a tactic as well to sort of go into it. Ravi says, "Big up, John. Hello, Luca. Hope you're good." Well, there's someone who will not be very, very happy with that scoreline at the weekend. Big up everyone. Although Spurs did you a favour for a change, Luca. He's going Liverpool 1-0. I wish I had your confidence. Let's just say that. Here, lads. Hello, that RPG. Random question. What's your favourite football chant? I love the West Ham get bat. Oh, Jesus. Who are we ever going to see? Thank you for tuning in. Anyway. Whenever Nelly Stell says, hello, Owen. Hope you're good, mate. Hope you're good. Hello, Jordan Hyman as well. I made a promise that I was not going to come on here and talk about Manchester City, right? I haven't actually read into it very, very much. So I can't really comment on it yet. But if you want me to do a special pod about Manchester City and basically we can go through it in detail, then I will do it. But at this moment in time, I can't really comment on like what I've seen. So I don't like to say basically would I accept City's prem to Liverpool if they have been charged, but if they do get found guilty, I don't see it happening. I don't see that happening. I think the worst that they'll probably get is either a fine or a points deduction. That's it for me. But we will see. Ravi's asked a good question. Where could Liverpool exploit Everton? I would say right back at the moment, because is it Coleman? Is Coleman still right back at the moment?
Yeah. Patterson's still got a niggle, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Patterson, obviously, because I'm obviously Scottish, and I do like Patterson. I do think he's a very, very good player, but he is sort of prone to injury. So Coleman's not the sort of the fastest, and it'll be interesting to see who's on that sort of that right hand side. As well. So I think we can get at their sort of right hand side, but left hand side as well. That'll be like a Wobie, potentially Mikalenko. As well. They're not the best defensively, but Tarkowski and Coady are very, very good centre-backs. So It's a difficult question, Ravi, considering how bad Liverpool have been recently. It would be very, very intriguing, to say the very least. Hello, Anthony. Has we found out Dyche and Everton will be up for this? I'll have to go for an Everton win 2-1. Interesting, Anthony. Interesting. Well, obviously a big Anthony fan. Douglas, didn't know you knew Rick Astley. Didn't know you knew Rick Astley. I don't get that. I do not get that. Sean says hello as well. Dawood, yes, I do play fantasy football. I certainly do indeed. To say at the very, very least. We'll go on to sort of the game from obviously earlier this season. Now, James, I believe you were obviously there because I know you go to every home game.
Yeah.
Do you feel a little bit unfortunate not to come away with all 3 points?
Yeah, a little. I mean, I don't agree with the offside rules, but that's what the rules are, unfortunately. So we were aware of it, a point before the goal that was scored and then was disallowed. A point would have been the fair result, but the fact we'd scored and then it's finally set like a toe or two offside. It's just that was just the annoying part of it. But we played well that day, so there were positives, but it was annoying that we're that close. Beating you is obviously a Goodison, which we haven't done since probably 2010, I think it was.
2010, yeah. Yeah. It has been a long, long time since you beat us at Goodison. And yeah, Tom, I mean, I don't like to speak about VAR because obviously we'll be here all day, but again, it's just another one of those stupid decisions where you're out like a foot offside. Like, honestly, we're getting like offsides now for like your toenail, for like your armpit, and now basically the side of your head. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, it is getting stupid, and it's very inconsistent, shall we say, because there's a few decisions that, like, you look at other teams and you see the exact same. It just all depends if they've got the right camera angles and like other. You look at Rashford when he was through on, I think, against Hughes, and he looked offside, but because of the camera angle shown, it looked like he was onside, but they didn't properly check it. And it's very frustrating when you see stuff like that because similar scenarios, and then you say, well, why is this being given and ours hasn't being given? Or because yours went to VAR and theirs never went to VAR. What's the point of having VAR for one game and not for the other game? It's just how the referees choose to use it and who's on the VAR panel. I think personally, I just think they need to scrap it altogether now.
Yeah, James, are you feeling the same way?
Same, because they can't. It's as we keep saying, it's not the technology; it's how it's being used, and the fact it's not getting any better. Just scrap it. It's been nothing but shite.
I think that's. I think you've taken the words out of my mouth, mate. Absolutely, absolutely agree with you. Sebastian's gone for a 1-1 draw. Sean's gone 2-0 Liverpool. Fine would be a joke. They have tons of money. There would be a slap. Yeah, that is very, very true, Spencer. But as I've said, I haven't really read into it too much. So I will do probably a special pod on Manchester City. But I'll need to obviously look into it a lot more. But it's very, very strange. Very, very strange as well. Shane says, if Liverpool lose the derby, Klopp has to walk. His tactics are nothing but outdated. Interesting.
Big statement.
How is Rafa Benitez on here? Trust you to say that. Hello, Brian. Hope you are well, mate. Hope you are good. I don't think we keep a clean sheet. Our defence is crap. We'll go 1-1 or 2 in Liverpool. I think it will be a draw. Well, we shall wait and see. But no transfers in January, gentlemen. James, were you a little bit frustrated that no one came in January?
A little bit, but I kind of get I can't. But my other part, the other thing I figured out was players who've been linked with the players we were linked with, and if they were looking at it, they'd be saying, "Why would I want to go there? Well, what's going on down there?" So, part of me's like, I'm not surprised that we didn't buy anyone this January. So, it's frustrating, but I can see why certain players have turned us down.
Yeah, Tom, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the same. You know, to be fair, a lot of players like what's his name that went to Spurs, Donnarumma or whatever you want to call him. That was,
yeah.
Oh, that was the most. That's probably the most exciting things we've ever seen. To be honest, if Everton trying to sign someone, but no, to be honest, I don't blame players. They want to come with us and scrapping a relegation battle. And for me, it's just. I would have liked someone to come in that actually said, "Yeah, I'm going to come and fight for you." But players that just go to even what's his name? He went to Forest. He's he could have came to us there, but in a sense, it's probably a blessing because then we could just focus on the players that we've actually got. We don't have to try and fit these players into the system that's already happening.
But also, Dyche, when you looked at Dyche's press conference, he said the players have got here are good enough. They just got what you hope is that that's giving the players a real lift. Saying if he thinks we're fighting for him, that's what you're just hoping. That's hopefully it's a motivational part that can get them motivated for the rest of the season.
Yeah. It's very, very interesting the way as well. You have to say, like, I think with you not obviously signing anybody, I mean, I think, and I don't know if that you'll both agree with me, but I think the best transfer business you did was keeping Onana.
Yeah, I'd probably say that. Yeah.
To be fair, I think he even came out on the transfer deadline day. He said, "Nah, I'm willing to stay and fight for the shirt."
Yeah.
So I think even if Arsenal did come in with a big, massive bid, I think Everton would have said. Well, I think he would have said no anyway.
Yeah, I think so as well. The one thing I do want to obviously have a look at is obviously like your fixtures coming up, because Tom, you made a very good point actually earlier that you do actually have Leeds coming up, and obviously they've just sacked Jesse Marsh as well. Do you look at the Merseyside Derby and say, okay, if we get something, it's an absolute bonus, but then the Leeds game, that is the game you have to win?
Yeah. Yeah, we do have to be, well, it's a funny. I think we just have to look at every game as a win, personally. We have to look at it as like, if we get a draw against Liverpool, right, that's a satisfying point, but we should be beating these like Leeds, and like, I'm not saying disrespectfully that they haven't got quality, because they have got quality, but we should be beating teams like this. We need to make it a bit more. Let's put it this way: the performance against Arsenal, we made it look like that we are going to be more competitive as recent, than the beginning of the season, because the beginning of the season, the first 3-4 games, we didn't concede that many goals, and then we just started to slip because of the formation changes all the time and rotating players. This time now, I think with Dyche, I think he's got a set squad, and then he's going to mould the other players to fit around that team. So we will look more competitive and more enticing to fucking actually win games.
Yeah. I mean, James, I'm just looking at your fixtures here. Obviously, Leeds United at home next Saturday, then Aston Villa, then a trip to Arsenal, then a trip to sort of Nottingham Forest. It's a tough wee run, but like I look at your games against like Leeds United and Aston Villa. I mean, Nottingham Forest is not out of the equation. Obviously, that's one of Sean Dyche's obviously former clubs. But how many points realistically could you see getting out of the next sort of 4 fixtures?
4 or 5. I don't know. I think the Leeds one, we definitely got to win. The Villa one. Villa's a funny one because they're so hit and miss. It's what we can get, and that's a game I think we can get something. And then you got, what was it, Arsenal after that?
Yeah, so Arsenal away, which will be a tricky one.
Which is probably going to be we'll probably write that one off because it's at the Emirates, and then Forest, and that's another tricky one. But minimum, we probably could get a point there. So we can get results in some of them matches, but we're gonna have to. We're really gonna have to fight for it. Like Tom said, we're gonna try and be competitive. But even if we just scrap 1-0s, even a couple of 1-0s along the way, I take it.
Yeah. No, I mean it's wins after it's wins after all. One thing I did want to speak obviously about, because obviously Frank Lampard was given his marching orders after the West Ham defeat. Now, James, obviously you've said number of occasions when obviously you've been in like my my sort of live chats and all this. No manager can save Everton. Was Frank Lampard deserving of his chance to sort of maybe stay on after this, or do you think he should have gone after the West Ham game?
I think after that, I think his time completely went after the Southampton game. I didn't see any way back for them in terms of results. If it was just a one-off, then you could say he should be gone 100%. But the fact he came in last year in a similar position, well, even though we were just above the drop zone, but we were still down there. He's had his hands tied behind his back for about 80 for the past year or so. So I backed him ever since he came to the club. But did I rate him as a manager? Not really. But
no.
I'm just sick to death of this constant changes of managers that we keep getting. I know it's a results business, I know that. But we need the one word I've been saying this club needs is stability. And I just pray to God, if we stay up this season with Sean Dyche, hopefully some stability can come back to the club.
Yeah, I know. As we do say, it is obviously a results business. But yeah, I mean, Tom, were you sad to see Lampard go?
In a way, yeah. I did really feel sorry for him, because like James said, his hands were tied behind his back. And to be fair, if any other manager came in at that point as well, I think they're just walking into a firing range, aren't they? But he kind of got the club. He understood the fans and he understood the passion as well. And I think, especially for him, because he's always been Chelsea most of his life. And he even came out and stated he was like, Everton fans get football, they get the passion. It's not like what Chelsea is, where they just don't sing songs. They just wait till a goal goes in, then they start cheering. It's just. Yeah, I think maybe it was the wrong. Maybe I think personally, if you're looking at it, appointing him was probably maybe the wrong time, because, like James said, maybe if he came into a team that was more stable, he probably would have been all right, because maybe his tactics would have worked a bit more better, and he could actually, get plays in. And because I know FFP is hit us really hard as well, and trying to get plays from scraps is really hard. Right, I think we were quite lucky getting Onana with the Richarlison money, but maybe if he did come in a later point, he probably might have done a good job, and maybe we'll probably see a bit more exciting football from him.
Yeah, definitely. Sebastian says this Merseyside Derby smells of draw 1-1. Shane's gone 0-0. Anthony or Gagpo? Right. So one's £100 million fidget spinner, and another one is just came into a side that's very, very underperforming. For me, I'd have Gagpo every single day. And that's obviously not biased. I don't really rate the other boy, Anthony. He is. If we spoke about Dwight McNeil being one-footed, Anthony always cuts back on his left foot to cross the ball.
He does.
So it's a very, very strange one. It's a very, very strange one. Name 3 signs that would fix our problems, not including Belly. Oh, good question. I don't think it's going to fix overnight, but realistic signings. I think we need another centre back. I'm going to say that because I think to be fair to Gomez, he is more of a right back now than a centre back. Gvardiol would be my dream signing at centre back. I don't think that's going to probably happen. Bellingham is obviously the dream one as well. Moises Caicedo's always been one that I've looked at and I think, yeah, he would do good in the Liverpool midfield, because I think we haven't properly replaced Gini Wijnaldum. And I think that's been what's been sort of causing our bad form, to say the very, very least. Nkunku would have been special as well, I have to say, but obviously he's gone to Todd Bowley's expensive Chelsea. Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting, to say the very, very least. Klopp's last game, no, it won't be. I don't think it will be, Chris, to be honest with you. Obviously, hope you're good. And obviously, I did see your tweet earlier, or a couple of days ago, actually. So I hope you're keeping okay. And obviously, me and James and Tom are here if you ever need to speak. So do not suffer in silence, as they say. We had to score all the goals. Yeah, I know you did. Basically, this is what makes this game very, very strange. Is that Wout Wees is our top scorer with 2 own goals since the World Cup. That's how bad Liverpool have been. But we will obviously speak about Liverpool now. I mean, James, are you surprised with how bad Liverpool have been recently?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I can't agree with you in a way, but you said you're going to have a bit of a drop-off, but the fact you're 10th in the league and you've been up there challenging with Man City for the past 3 or 4 years, I just can't believe how poor you've been and the quality you've got. And I know your midfield's a problem, and this player's aging, but the quality's there. And I can't work out what's going on. Is it the formations? Is it the system? What are they doing at training? Well, I just can't work out what's going on with you guys this season.
I can't put anything. I can't put a foot on it right now. To be honest with you, Tom, what have you made of Liverpool as a sort of a outsider?
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be this big of a drop off. Personally, I thought you'd at least be of like that transition of like what you had last year, a bit more fightful. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem like the players don't seem like their heads are switching half the time. And to be fair, I did call this in the summer as well. And I said, as soon as Salah signed that contract, he would be out of form. And everyone just laughed at me. And I just said, look what's happened now. He doesn't seem like he's got his head in the clouds. That's where his heads are. He just doesn't seem like he could pass the ball or shoot or anything lately. All right, with the 2 new signings, Núñez and Gakpo, you're just going to have to give them time. Your midfield's a bit of a joke. I think Fabinho, all season has been dreadful. I think there's been a bit of a blessing for you that you got Stefan there, just to give him a bit of competition to say, listen, if you don't perform, I want to put the kid in there and just put you to shame.
I mean, we've got 2 keepers playing the week on Monday, and Alisson and Jordan Pickford. I mean, James, would you arguably say that both of them have been both Liverpool and Everton's player of the season?
Probably so, yeah. Because I mean, the outfield players. I mean, no one's really fully stood out. I mean, the recent matches, Anana's been playing well, and before that, Alex Iwobi was doing all right at the start of the season. But the keepers have been like playing massive parts and keeping us not just keeping us in the games, but keeping the score lines down. Like for example, some of the matches you've had this season, Doug, I mean Brighton in particular and Wolves, they could have been about 5 or 6, and whereas us against Man City the other day, when we somehow got a point, we could have ended up losing like 7 or something, but Pickford made a couple of half-decent saves. So the keepers have been the big standout players for us, both sides.
Yeah, that definitely has. you're in big trouble when you say that your keeper's been player of the season. But for us, undoubtedly he has been our player of the season. And again, for you guys, I mean, all right, Damari Gray's sort of been in and out. I know he scored a few goals. And Anna, I think, has been very, very good. So I'd argue Iwobi. I think we're now sort of seeing the best of Alex Iwobi now, as well. So it will be a very intriguing test on Monday. Hello, John. I'm sorry I'm late. Good to see you on the channel and the panel. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, do hit that like button and do hit subscribe if you are new as well. Oh dear. Here we go. How does a man on the moon cut his hair? He clips it.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Mike, hello, mate. Hope you're good. Big result for Newport the other day. There was a 2-1 win over Swindon, I think I saw. I know you were there, so yeah, good to see you. Good to see you in the chat, mate. Good to see you in the chat. Amrabat would have been very good, mate. He would have been very, very good, but unfortunately, he looks like he's Barca bound, and yet Barcelona's transfer strategy is completely flawed, to say the very, very least. Amrabat would have been a good signing. I will say that now. We might be back in for him. We might not be, but it's going to be very interesting. Andrew Quinn is on. Hello, mate. If there's one player who can lift these poor performances, it's Jota. Also, Ancelotti could get sacked if Madrid lose the World Cup match. Wow.
Really?
That's mental when you think of that. That's actually mental. So he could be potentially sacked before the Champions League game against Liverpool. That would be something else. Something else indeed. Statman is in. Hello, mates. Hope you're good. Obviously, one of my new moderators as well. Welcome, and I hope you're good, mate. Do go and check out Statman Stubbs, of course. Oh, here we go. Ravi with another interesting question. Would Everton extend Dyche's contract if they stay up? Who wants to come on that one first?
Go on, James.
I wouldn't be surprised if they got shut, because how many none of the managers have lasted long under this owner, so I wouldn't be surprised if they got shut of him.
Tom?
Well, I think they'll just have to see what he does in the following season, wouldn't you? Personally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just can't be giving these contracts of willy-nilly and extending them all the time. And then if he does one bad season, we just get rid of him. And then there's like another 5 million that we have to pay out for. It's just a bit pointless, isn't it? Just keep him as he is at the moment. Keep him sweet.
Exactly. Common sense. Common sense.
I mean, he just came in the door as well. It's like, basically you're asking a question. Basically, if you do stay up to sort of extend his deal. I know he did sign a 2-year contract as well, so yeah, we'll see anyway. Statman Yo, big up Ravi, just dropping in to say hello before I leave for football. Well, enjoy, mate, and yeah, do not get injured. Famous last words as well. Question, do Everton miss Gordon, or was it right to sell him? If we're talking from like a Liverpool's fan point of view, I think Everton got shot of him at the right time. I think they should have sold him in the summer, because I think they would have obviously got 60 million, but 45 million is still a very, very good purchase. Yeah, we obviously had a wee chat obviously about Anthony Gordon earlier, but yeah, do you miss him, James, or was it right to sell him?
I think it was the right decision, but like Tom said, he is a prospect and he can get better, but for what we need and the fact we needed the money for him, it was the right time.
Yeah. I think so. I think so as well. Oh Christ, here we go. Thoughts on our Champions League game against Madrid? Not looking forward to it one bit. I know I think Courtois got injured. So let's be honest. Then without a keeper, they'd still beat us. Let's just be honest as well. Good stuff, Douglas. Respect to the Toffees, says Alan. Thank you very much. Eagle-eyed Nate is in. Both sides are as effective up front as a placebo. Thank you, eagle-eyed Nate. Very kind of you to say the very, very least. Yes, prayers for Turkey and Syria. Yes, absolutely. Really horrible to see what had happened. Good to hear that Christian Atsu is actually recovering well in hospital as well, because apparently he was under rubble, I should say. Under rubber, yeah. That sounds. So at the very least. That being said, I'm dreading Palace playing Brighton on the weekend. It could be peak. Well, you say that, but Brighton never beat Palace. Brighton never beat Palace at Selhurst Park. When was the last time Brighton beat Palace at Selhurst Park? I'm thinking all the way back to like 2014, 2015. So, yeah, I would say it's got probably a lot of chances there. 100% love to Turkey and Syria. So we are 46 minutes in. So the next thing I would like to ask you is your starting 11s for Monday evening. Tom, I'll go with you first for this one.
Literally, I think you'll go with the same team as what we played Arsenal. So it'll be Pickers, Coleman, Coady, Strodowski, Michalenko, then Garnagay, Onana, Decore, Iwobi, McNeil. I was thinking, is he fit? Because I got told he had a little niggle as well. Calvin Lewin.
No, apparently there's no concern, so he might be fit.
Oh, so he'll start him then. Calvin Lewin as well on top.
James?
Same. I never. What was I saying? Never change a winning side. So I keep the same team.
Yeah. As well. Yeah, Calvert-Lewin's an interesting one, actually. I think the thing is about Calvert-Lewin. I know it's quite obviously a bit harsh to say this, but he does look like he cares about being more of a model than it's been a footballer recently. It just kind of feels that way. Right, I have the obvious task of making the Liverpool team. Oh, here we go. Right, Ali in goal, 100%, Ali in goal. Trent at right back. I'm going to go... Oh, actually, Kanate's not fit. I'll be Matip. I want to see Nat Phillips. I cannot see Joel Gomez at the centre-back position ever again. He gives me absolute butterflies every time he gets on the pitch now. So definitely Nat Phillips and Matip. Robertson at left back. Bajcetic, Thiago... I think you'll bring Henderson in. Even though that's probably not a popular sort of choice. And then I don't think we've got really many sort of options, really. I'm going to go Gakpo, Nunes, and probably Salah. But then again, Klopp has made sort of decisions in the past for sort of Merseyside derbies. I remember when he started Dominic Solanke in a Merseyside derby. I remember when he started... Divock Origi and Jordan Shaqiri, so he does like to pose a bit of a surprise. But I think with obviously the personnel that we've got available, I don't think there'll be any sort of surprises. But guys, get your starting 11s in the chat, and we'll obviously read them out before we do go as well. Douglas, I'm not going to lie to you. 2018, 2019, they did a double over us and still need us to keep them up. Thanks, Roy Hodge. All right, so that was that then. Where's now? I haven't seen now, to be honest with you. Thoughts on the atmosphere at Goodison, says Ravi. Oh, good question.
It was rocking on Saturday, but beforehand it's been like a morgue. To be honest, it's been like a morgue for 18 months, apart from the Palace game last year at the end of last season, and then obviously last Saturday. So when it's rocking, it's an absolute bear pit, and no one likes to go. Opposition teams hate going there. But when it's like, the fans are against the home, we're against their own side, like not happy with how they're playing. It's like a playground for every other team.
Yeah, I mean, Tom, I know you obviously live in Greece. When you've obviously sort of been in Liverpool, have you managed to get to many games at all?
Yeah, they used to have the seasons.
There we go.
So again, obviously being over here is a bit difficult, and especially going to the games. But I think the last game I went to was 3 years ago when we played Leicester in the League Cup, and I went to pens and we lost.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, when Leighton Baines scored the worldie, wasn't he?
Yeah. I was sat in Park End when he scored.
David says, imagine scoring 200 plus goals for no reason. That's obviously about Harry Kane. Yeah, definitely. Indian Scousers back in a little bit. Indian Scouser, hope you're good. Hello, Hella. Hope you're good. Evening, Douglas and Co. Not going to give you any advice, but for the love of God, don't start Gomez. And that is a Manchester United fan saying that. That is a Manchester
going to say, yeah.
That is a Manchester United fan to say that. Yeah, I think everyone can kind of see Gomez as the weak link in this team. Right. Before we do go, I am going to ask you for this. What is your match prediction for the game? James, what are you going to go for?
I never like derby matches at all because we never win, but I'm going to go 1-1. I think we might just think about getting a point.
Tom?
My heart's saying 2-1 to us.
2-1?
Yeah. And I'm going to stick with it.
I'm going to stick with that. I mean, this would be a morale boosting month for us if we can get it, but I'm not confident going into any single game left, if I'm being honest, because I look at this game and I looked at some comparisons, 2021. We had a bad run, and you were one of the ones that actually beat us. You beat us 2-0, Richarlison, and I think was it Calvert-Lewin from the penalty spot? I think it was that got the second.
Yeah, Sigurdsson, I think it was.
Oh, crikey, it was.
Yeah, I think it was Sigurdsson, yeah.
It was indeed. So I look at that and do I go in my heart or do I go in my head? My head is saying I think we get beat 1-0.
Mm-hmm.
My heart will say I think we get a very nervy 1-0 win. But I don't like playing Sean Dyche teams, and I never have, and I never will. I'm not confident for this game. As you can tell from obviously the whole sort of preview, I've been trying to sort of keep sort of tight-lipped, but we're just not in great form at the moment. And I know obviously you guys have obviously won against Arsenal, so I think you guys will be probably going into this one thinking, yeah, this is probably the best time to play Liverpool. Well, there's probably never a better time to play Liverpool at Anfield, but it does feel like it could be this game. But let me just see what some of you are saying for this one. Whenever you see now, Kane. I'm not sure what that's about, John. Gomez is horrible against Wolves. Not even championship quality defender at best. Sadly, no, definitely not. Salah's injured, Dawood, is he? If Salah's injured,
that'll be Elliot playing right wing then.
It'll be Elliot, yeah. Be Elliot playing right wing. I'm hoping Bobby could be back as well. I think there's a slight chance Van Dijk might be back, but I don't want to sort of risk any more sort of injuries. Yes, Nate, thank you very much for that. I do remember his goal. I do remember his goal against us. It was an absolute screamer. I draw, sorry guys, 1-1, says Hella. I'm saying 0-0 or 1-1. I'll back the 1-1, but we're an absolute hot mess of a game. Yeah, absolutely. I would, if you're doing an accumulator this weekend, and obviously you see this game, don't back it. Please don't, because it's basically if your accumulator sort of comes in for all these other games and you're waiting for this game to come out and it lets you down, you will be kicking yourself. So please don't pick this game if you are going for an accumulator. Shane has gone Alisson, Trent, Fabinho, Phillips, Robertson, Henderson, Thiago, Bajcetic, Carvalho, Nunes, Gakpo. Interesting indeed. Thanks for your live streaming. Thank you. 0-0 says Shane. Sean Dyche knows it's the best time to play, so Anfield, I'll go with a 1-1 draw. Well, we shall see anyway. But guys, thank you very much for watching. Really do appreciate everyone who's tuned in this evening. And big thank you to my guests as well. James Dunlop, one of my moderators, and who is always in the live chat. So thank you very much for coming on. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries, Doug. Thanks for having me on, mate.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. And Tom, it's good to catch up again as well. I know you do obviously have a channel, but thank you very much. And I hope Greece is treating you well.
Yeah, it's treating me all right. It's a little bit cold at the moment, but saying that, 15 degrees, not even really that cold for us over here, really, when you think about it.
15 degrees, that is not cold at all.
When you're on a little island and you've got the wind against you, you do feel it, so it does feel a little bit cold, but to me, I just walk around in these short sleeves. British summer, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. But no, thank you very much to both of you. I really do appreciate it. And obviously before and after this game, obviously, good luck for the rest of the season. I do think Everton will stay up, especially with having the tactician and Sean Dyche trying to keep you up. I think he will. I think he will keep you up as well. By the way, guys, there was a poll running as well. I am just going to check that now because there is an actual poll running in this video, and I did actually put a wee poll out. As well, if my bloody iPad would actually load, thank you very much. It is coming. It is coming. I can guarantee you. But yes, there is a poll. There is a poll going in the chat. It was basically to say who was going to win this game. Right. It's obviously not wanting to work, but I will go and check that result out anyway. But no, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I really do appreciate everyone who's tuned in this evening. And I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow with the Prem Prediction Show with Mr. Patrick Cheeto, who is a Manchester City fan. So that'll be very, very interesting, to say the very, very least, and see how what his thoughts are. As well. Right, I have managed to get it work. I managed to get our 28 likes as well. Thank you very much, people. So the poll stands: Liverpool 45%. Well, I have to say it, 45%. I think you're barking up the wrong tree. I'm going to say that. 32% say the draw, and then 24% say Everton. So quite an interesting poll, that. Quite a very, very interesting poll. To say the very, very least. Let's end that there. 30 votes as well, so thank you very much as well. But guys, thank you very much for watching. Really do appreciate everyone who's tuned in. And I'll be back tomorrow for the Prem Prediction Show. And we shall find out what happens on Monday evening. And Dawood says, let's not forget Dyche's Burnley ended our home run. He certainly did. We certainly did. And, we're not in the best of form at the moment, Dawood, but we shall see anyway. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow for the Prem Prediction Show. Good night.